Busted my ass. Guess blood, sweat, and tears, I guess. Howdy, folks. Chris Daniel coming to you from the Endurance Mentality again. Hope everybody's having a great week. Hope everybody had a great last week and weekend. Hope everybody enjoyed Memorial Day and took some time to remember what Memorial Day is really all about. Moving forward, let's get started with the video. In this video, I'd like to talk a little bit about my training that I did last week, what I got done last week, volume, what I did, some alterations to things, some new shoes that I tried on the trail, and then we'll move into this week's training plan, which I've already started. I've already gotten in a run yesterday, about to go do another run here a little bit, moving on in through the week. We'll go over that. And then to finish up the video, I'll go ahead and get into some health stats, about, where I'm at, weight-wise and moving forward. And also something I'm going to do in the next week or so that'll help me get a realistic view of where I'm at in body composition right now, body fat, muscle mass, visceral fat, that kind of thing, so that I can have a realistic measure of where I'm at now, so that I can make maybe a better plan for where I really need to be or want to be moving forward, and what my short-term and long-term goals need to be. Now let's get into the video. Okay, so we'll start with last week's volume and training that I did. Okay, as you can see with the schedule pulled up, I got in about 30 miles total, 10 of that being on a bike, indoor training, 16 or a little over 16 miles running, which is up from about 14 miles last week, so increase that a little bit. The walking mileage doesn't reflect super accurately because I just didn't track the walks like I normally do. So got a few more walking miles on it shows, but so got in my zone 2, my 150 runs, my zone 2 indoor bike, got my 4 runs in, got my scheduled strength training in. I did make a couple of alterations here. I had the trail run slash hike that I had that originally planned for Sunday, but because of the weather that was forecasted to come in over the weekend, I moved that to Friday. So I made that change, and then also I wasn't planning on doing an additional trail run, but I got a new pair of shoes that I ordered, Lone Peak 6s Ultras. I was eager to try those, so I went out just before the weather arrived and got in a 4 mile run and enjoyed the shoes. They're a little bit different to run in than I'm used to. A zero drop shoe, super wide toe box. If you haven't tried Ultras before, uh, I would tell you to try them if you feel like you want to try something different. If you've never run in a zero drop shoe, it's definitely different. Not sure how it would work for me on road running, but trail running, I felt pretty good about it. Okay, so I'll go back to the trail run slash hike, just to do a little bit of recap on that. Went out for a planned 5.5 miles, ended up doing 6. That's not uncommon for me to do, is to decide that I want to try to it just something that does something to me mentally for me to get in an extra quarter, half, maybe a full mile in than what I'm planning. Maybe it sabotages some of the workouts that I do because I don't get quite what I was trying to get out of it, but mentally it just makes me feel good that I got just a little bit more out of it. And usually I do that. I know, I feel good about going that extra distance. But the thing to this trail run is I busted my ass on this trail run more than I have any other trail run that I've done. And I'm not I haven't done a lot of running to this point. I've done a lot of hiking, you know, that type of thing. But as far as the trail running itself, I'm still pretty new to it. So, I fall, I bust my ass just about every time I go, at least once, maybe twice. But man, I busted my ass probably 10 times at least on this run and ended up with a bloody leg that you saw in the intros and all this stuff. And, a little bit frustrating. I kept trying to figure out, like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And I think I came to some, realizations when I went back and did the trail run the next day because I ran on another trail that I was familiar with. Didn't stumbled a couple times, but didn't bust my ass like I had been the day before. And I just think it came down to me trying to run. I was trying to haul ass on that. I got a little cocky, I guess, a little overconfident on that trail run, the 6 miler, and just kept tripping over just roots and rocks and everything. It seemed like every time I got up, just as soon as I got up, I'd fall back down. So that's all part of it. I don't mind getting a few, you know, cuts and bruises and stuff. Sometimes it's just uh, shows that you've done something or whatever. But when you fall as much as I was falling, it was kind of a pain. But anyway, so that's last week. We'll move into this week. Okay, so this week, as you can see, I've already done a 150 run yesterday, along with a little bit of walking. Today, I'm getting ready to go do an interval run, just a hard effort interval run, zone 4, uh, with a strength session planned for this evening. Indoor bike tomorrow. Friday, planning on getting in 7 miles on the trails, along with another strength session, upper body. Going into the weekend, Saturday, I have planned another 150 run, low aerobic. And then Sunday, my wife wants to go do a hike at Chimney Rock State Park. And I mentioned Chimney Rock in a previous video. It's a state park. It takes us about an hour 15, hour and a half to get there. Start at the bottom and go to the top. It's almost all stairs, so it's about 1,000 feet of climb and a mile and a half. And this time we're going to add a trail on that starts from where the climb stops and goes around to this waterfall. So should be a nice day, a good workout. Get some of those get those legs burning a little bit on the way up, and then come back down and probably go grab some lunch somewhere locally in Chimney Rock and just try to have a good day. So, like I mentioned before, most of my workouts are time based, so it's hard for me to know exactly what my mileage is going to be by the end of the week. I won't know that until the end of the week. But given that the time that I'm training is going up a little bit every week, the distances should go up a little bit every week as well. So that being said, okay, so that's this week. I'll give a recap on what happened this week after it's over, and move into talking a little bit about some health stats and things I have planned moving forward in that realm. Okay, so just wrapped up some stuff on my training from last week, what I'm doing this week, what I'm got planned moving forward for the week. We'll get back to you first part of next week on what the volume for this week ends up being as far as mileage goes. Now moving on with talking about health stats and where I'm at right now for the week as opposed to last week and the last couple of weeks. So this morning I weighed in at 216.4 pounds, which was a surprise to me this morning because here in the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been hovering in that 218, 219. I was down in the 217s one day, but for the most part it's like in the 218s, 219s, just kind of stuck. So when I stepped on the scale this morning and it was 216.4, it was kind of a shock to me as far as the number went. I mean, I felt lighter, felt like clothes have, felt a little bit better in the past couple of weeks and all that kind of stuff. So, the numbers are, what people dwell on, is what I look at and all that kind of stuff. So it's good to see those numbers moving in the right direction. And I know that those numbers get stuck sometimes, and I guess you just plateau for a couple weeks here and there or whatever, your body, adjusting to things, whatever it might be, but it happens. So move down on the scale a couple of pounds, keep tracking that. I've been weighing myself most every day here in the last couple of weeks or so. So just kind of helps me keep a trend going. I don't get too bothered by it going back up a half a pound or whatever. I just try to weigh myself at the same time every morning. And just as long as those averages are going down, that's what I want to see. I talked about something that I was going to do this week to help me get a better measure of health stats. Right now, all I've really got to go on is my scale. It's a Garmin scale. It measures body fat. It shows body fat percentage, all that kind of stuff. But we all know, I think, that most of those measures are pretty inaccurate when it comes down to trusting them for what they actually are. So what I'm planning on doing this week, probably tomorrow, is going and get what's called a DEXA scan. This is something I've been wanting to do for a couple of years now. And if you don't know what a DEXA scan is, it's a scan of your body to show you what your measurements actually are as far as body composition. So body fat percentage, lean muscle mass, bone density, all that kind of stuff. So it's the most accurate way to measure body composition. And I want to get as accurate of an idea as I can, or measure as I can of where I'm at, so that I can plan better for short-term and long-term goals. So I'm going to do that, get that measurement. It's going to be something that I'll try to start doing maybe a couple times a year or something, and just to try to keep an accurate track of where I'm at. So try not to get too caught up in the numbers, but because I like the analytics of things. I like to break things down in numbers to a fault sometimes. Like I got to try to keep myself from getting too crazy with that, because I can overanalyze and overthink things a lot. It's just, kind of the way my brain works, I guess. So that's just a quick update on my health stats and my plan for the DEXA scan. When I come back to you in a later video, probably next week, hopefully I have some results to talk about with that. I'll be completely open and transparent with those numbers, and yeah, looking forward to it, and very curious to see where I'm actually at. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody has a good week, and enjoy.